Dr. R. Oblakonda Reddy, Department of CSE, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College, Dundigal, Hyderabad. In this session, we'll see Linux programming introduction. Let's first see. Linux is one of the operating system. What is the functionality of operating system is? It's an intermediate between the user and the machine. So the user task is given to the user task is taken to the once the user is given any task that is taken by the operating system. The operating system will send to machine. The machine will process it, and then again result will send back to the user. So this is a process. So Linux is also one type of the operating system. So in that operating system, it is designed by the it is used to many people at the same time. So it's a multi-user. So at a time, n number of people can be accessing the Linux systems. At the same time, variety of process like Pentium 3, 4, like again different processors works. It's supported to different process, runs on variety of process, and it provides number of facilities. What is the management of hardware resources like printing and then scanning, like again taking from input, or it may be sent to output. So management of different hardware resources. Okay, and directory file systems. Other thing is the directory and file systems. Within a directory, it maintains a group of files, and then loading, execution, suspension of programs. So loading, executions. We want to run a specific program. Then it has to be load from from secondary memory to main memory. Then later it's sent to the processor. So this loading and execution also. So the operating system, these are all the facilities. One is the management of hardware resources. Effectively, we have utilized the all resources. And then second one is it's a directory or file systems. So directory is nothing but it's maintain a group of file systems. And third one is a loading and execution. So a specific program, we want to execute a specific program. First, it has to be load from secondary memory to main memory. Then it start to execute. So this is a process. These are all the facilities. It's providing the different facilities. Now, again say here, why use Unix? Here the question is, why use Unix? It's a multitasking and multi-user. So multitasking in sense, it's at a time we can run the different tasks, like playing a song. So there is one task. Now run execution of a program. There is also one task. And then take just we have to take a snapshot that is given to computer. So that through a camera we can given some pictures to computer. So these are the different activities, like Word, MS Word, open a MS Word. So each one considered as a one task, one specific task. So now it's doing multitasking. At a time it can perform the number of tasks. And second one is multi-user in network cable. So multi-user. So different users can connected with the Linux operating systems. So these are all the facilities. And then easy to program. Now see, easy to program. And second important thing is that it's a portable. So portable for personal computers, mainframes, as well as the supercomputers. It's a portable. Now coming to introduction part. What is a file? File is it's a container storing information. So file is nothing but it's a storing information. It has consists three types of files. One is a ordinary file, and again it contains a stream of characters. Stream, it's nothing but it's a group of character. It consists of two types. So it's a stream of character. Now first one is a text file and binary file. Text file contains a printable characters. Only that it contains printable characters only. Binary file contains both printable and non-printable characters. Coming to directory file, no data, but it maintains some details about files subdirectories that it contains. So directory, no data, but it's only maintain the file. File, it maintains some details of files, and subdirectory that it contains. Now the directory entry contains two components. First one is the file name, and second one is a unique identification number for the file or directory. So file name should be given to the specific file. Second one is it's a unique one unique identification number of the file or directory. So unique number. And C is device file. It represents the device or peripherals. Device file. So that type is it's a device file. It represents the device or peripheral, a specific device. For example, if you connected with a CAM, through CAM you have connected the computer, so it maintain one specific, it represents a device or peripheral. So it have maintained one device file. So is it what type it is connected in a computer? So it's maintain the device also. This is the third. And see the Unix. Before studying of Linux operating, almost Unix and Linux properties are the same, but yes, so first architecture of Unix file systems. It's a simplified Unix directory or file system. First, it's maintained forward slash. It's a root directory which contains the different subdirectories like bin, binary files, device files, library files, users. Users is a multitasking. Users has connected to user 1, 2, 3 like that, and it's maintained temporary files also. So this is Unix directory system. It's start with a forward slash is a root directory. Root, which contains again sub levels. It's a binary device files like C. So in this case, it's an architecture of Unix file system. It's in first layer. We observe here. First, it's maintain the compiler a.out, date, grep command, cd, vi, applications, different applications. User 1 is connected with the applications, any one applications of Linux system, and user n has connected as a.out. It's a executable, predefined. It's a predefined executable code. Now date, grep command, vi is a one editor. So different users is connected to the first level, first layer. So it's a first level. Is in first level connected to this is a level. So first level user is connected to the applications. For example, user 1 is connected to a application. So application is connected to the shell. Shell is the interface to user and the kernel. So it's a hidden, it's a data will send. Some application is some data is given to the user. The data is given by the user. The user data is taken from shell, and then that is interact that data is sent to shell to kernel. So here kernel is a core part of operating systems. See, so now kernel, it's a low level features. It's a low level features components to high level. See here, hardware layer. First layer, it's a hardware layer, consists of all peripheral devices like it's a RAM, hard disk drives. First level, it's a hard disk, CPU. So these are all the different hardware layers. Like in this diagram, first it's the hardware layers. So in that hardware we have, see here, whatever the hardware peripheral devices, RAM, hard disk drive, CPU, central processing unit, etc. These are all the hardware layer. Kernel is a core component of a operating system, interact directly with the hardware, provide low level services to upper level components. So kernel is a core component of our OS. So directly interacted with the hardware. So the kernel is directly interacted with the hardware, provide low level services to high level. Shell is an interface to kernel. It's in hiding complexity of kernel functions from users. Okay, I simply say that takes command from user and execute kernel functions. The last one is the utilities like applications like a.out. These are all the Unix utilities. Utility programs given user most of the functionality of an operating system. So it's given by the user most of the functionality of operating systems. So these are all the three different layers. First one is the hardware. It's like a simple components. Now kernel is a core component of operating system. Shell is low level services to high level. It's in kernel is like takes commands from user and execute kernel functions. but hidden complex of kernel functions from users. And then last level is it's the Unix utilities like applications, VI, CD. These are all the different Unix utilities. User most of the functions of an operating system. So it's a giving user most of the functionality of an operating system. So this is a layer architecture of our Unix systems. So this is the root level, directory level. Again, see discuss here. /bin. Bin is it's a user binary files. And then second one sbin. Sbin means it's a system binaries. And third one is a configuration. So it's maintain the configuration files. A device. So specific device like I want to connect a mouse, wireless mouse. So it's maintain some specific unique ID. So device files, all such type of files is maintained in that device /device. And the process information, which process is presently running it. So for example, I want to execute a program, some addition of 2-number program. So it's a process which you have maintained some one process ID, one specific process ID. Now variable files, temporary files, which any operating system which you have to maintain some temporary files. And then user programs, the user can save some specific programs here. And then home directories, we have created our own directory now. Boot loader files. What's the boot and loader files? It's in initially the operating system will start. Once start of our system, then initially load the boot files. That is a very important. Once run of our operating system, it's initially load the boot files. Without a boot files, we can't run our operating systems. Once loaded, then we can start our applications on our operating systems. So this is one thing. And libraries, system libraries. System as it's maintained one library files. So the type of main files is maintained under that /lib. It's an optional add-in apps. So something is one of the optional add-in apps. If you have that, then add it this directory. Then mount directory. If you want mount directory /mnt. Media, removable devices like USB devices, removable devices like pen drive, service data. So these are all the different levels of, it's in root levels. First initially it's a root. This is a root level. / is a root level. Under that we have maintained different types of the directories. This is a Unix directory systems which maintain different types of directories here. Now /bin. See again here. Bin contains executable file for most of the Unix commands. So binary. It contains executable files for most of the Unix commands. Div, device. It contains files that control various input and output devices like mouse, keyboard. These are all the input and output devices as monitor, and it's maintained the one unique device ID. Div files. Library. So it's maintained the library functions in binary form. User contains several directory, each associated with a particular user. Temporary. So temporary files created by Unix or by any user, etc. It's contain configuration files of the system. So these are all the some description about our directories. Now editor. Now discuss one of the important thing in a Linux operating system. It's an editor. So VI is a full screen text editor. It was created by Bill Joy. Is a scientist name. Is a scientist. He has to create it as editor. One editor. Initially introduced it's created scientist name is Bill Joy. So he is in, and later Brim Molnar improved it and it is called as VIM. The version. It is a VI improved version. Now it's in invoking VI. Coming to this VI editor, first given VI space file name. So now we can open that file. What are the modes of operations? VI has 3 modes of operations. One is a command mode. In this mode, all the keys pressed by the user are interrupted as commands. It may perform some actions like move cursor, save, delete text, quit VI, like that. So some type of command is given to in this mode. And second one is insert, input or insert mode. used for inserting text. So I want to typing some text, or I want to type a program. Now I'm used to input or insert mode. First start the vi space file name, then open that. Start by typing I. So once I'm pressing I, then start to write the program. Otherwise, whenever finishing, then press as escape. So this is the two type. First one is a command mode. Through a command mode, we can just like what are the actions to perform here? Move cursor, like save, delete text, quit vi, like quit vi. These are all the different actions we are performing. Different commands is given to the command mode. The specific action, it should be works. And then second one is the insert or input mode. Now once press I, then later we start our typing program. Then once it's completed, then after completion of your process, then press to escape. Now see, X mode or last line mode. So used for giving commands at command line. The bottom line of VI is called as a command line. These are all the different shortcuts here. H, if you press on H, move cursor one place to left. J, down one. If you press K, up, cursor will move to up one. L, cursor is moved to right one. And then W is move forward one. And B is a one word back to one word. So these are all the different shortcuts on our VI editor. H, J, K, L, W. The cursor moving left side, right side, upward or downward, like using. Now finishing of VI sessions, then start here given as press escape. After that, after pressing escape, it's in quit of our VI editor. Though before that it is given to ZZ. It means it's in save changes to the file and quit. So no return. So it's a save changes to the file and quit. And second one is colon Q explanation mark. So quit without saving. Once given this after pressing escape, then given colon Q explanation mark, then quit without saving. And last one, colon WQ with the explanation mark, save the file and quit. So these are the just keys. These are all the commands, just like commands is given to the VI editor. So ZZ, second one, colon Q and colon WQ. So without save or with save. So according to that VI editor, we given that a specific action we have giving. Now coming to this insertion point, inserting a text, just simply press I. It's in changes to input or inserting mode. Then after start typing, we can use either backspace or delete for deletion, or backspace. It's in deleting a word, and escape is, remember this, it's in finishing of our VI editor. Then back in command mode. Now must be in the command mode X. So again in a command mode, remember these characters. X is indication to delete character that cursor is on. DD is delete current line, and then D is a delete from cursor position to end of line. U is a undo last command. So now X is a delete character that cursor is on. These are all the shortcuts that supported to command X, DD, DU. Now here see file handling utilities. So in that utility, first command you see CP. CP is nothing but it's a copying file. So create an exact copy of a file. You can use the CP command. Now the syntax of this one, CP, option, then source and destination. Now take the example here. CP is a copying files. Now I'm use the command as CP, file 1, file 2, file 1, file 2. So here file 1 is copied to file 2. Just simply copying a file. File 1 to file 1 content is copied into file 2. Again take a second example now. File 1, file 2, dir. So file 1, file 2 are copied to a specific directory. So this is copy command. First file handling utilities is a copying file CP command. In this CP command, CP option. So minus option, like minus I. If you given CP with minus I option. So what is that minus I option is used to minus I is a option. Once we use minus I option here. In this syntax, cp minus option source destination. So here in that option, I use minus I. What is the destination file also exists. So for example, here I am given cp minus I file1, file2. So overwrite, it's asking overwrite file2. If you press yes, Y, then at this prompt, overwrite the files. So its destination files also exit here. Minus I options with options. Now I want to rename the files or direct. Now use mv. So it's a moving on renaming a files. Just use mv command. Is a text sample. Here text is a one file name, other is a sample. So here text is renamed as a sample. So text file name is renamed as a sample. Okay, move is nothing but it's a moving file and renaming a files is a move. Simply I'm given mv is a command, Unix utilities, mv text sample. So text is replaced, text is renamed as a sample. ln, it's a link command. ln, used to create a link, either both soft and hard links. So it create the alias or increase the link count by, for example, ln file1, file2. So it won't work if the destination files also exists. If you have a destination file is having that, it's not to pass. So it's created. The main duty of this command is it's used to create a links, either the soft link or the hard links. And the next utility is the rm. So deleting files and directories. So now I want to delete a specific file or I want to delete a specific directory. Now I want to use delete or remove a file. So remove a file when using rm command. It's one of the command rm, remove directories or files. Now I'm used like this, rm my files. So here with having options also. With having minus I option, removes the files interactive. So here I am giving to rm is a direct, it's a command name, minus I is a option, file1. So what happened here? Minus I option removes the files interactive. And we can use minus R option also. So recursively removes directories. If you use minus R, it's a option. So recursively removes our directories. Now I can use minus R with a directory name. Now make directory. I want to create one or more directories. Now I am using this utilities as make directory, mkdir. It's one of the utilities. Now make directory book. So it's a book it's in directory name. Now I want to create the directory name as a book. Now for example, I want to create multiple directories at a time. Then use the mkdir. First one, second one, third one. So dbs, doc, dms. It's create 3 directories at a time. Is also having option. So removing directory, rmdir. It's one of the command now. Remove empty directories. So remove rmdir. Just given the directory name. It's remove that named book if it is in empty. Remove directory named book if it is empty. So if it is an empty directory, it has to remove that directory. Or at a time, it also have the facility at a time which has removed the 3 directories also. So now use simply rmdir. Now given the directory names. So dbs, doc, like dmc. So at a time, it has to remove the 3 empty directories. Now find. Find is the one of the command. It has to find, examine, recursively examine a directory tree and then look matching some criteria and then takes some action on the selected files. So it's a recursively examine a directory and look for matching criteria and then take some action to the selected files. Now the find here, find using the command find path list selection criteria and then a specific action. Now chmod command allow to alter changes access the rights to files and directory. So observe here chmod and given the options mode file name. So what are the file permissions? What are the file? Hash. Hash is indication to file permission. 0 is indication to none. 1 is indication to execute only. 2 write only. 3 write and execute. 4 read only. 5 read and execute. 6 read and write. And 7 set all permissions. These are all the different binary numbers which are assigned to file permissions. Okay. So what are the remaining options? -C. If you use -C, display names of only those files whose permissions are being changed. So it's -C will display names of only those files whose permission are being changed. So which permission we have changed? If you use -C option, then which permissions are recently changed. So that file is displayed. Now -F suppress most error messages, and -R change file and directory recursively. So which file has most changes? File or directory recursively. -V is the output version information, and its exit from that. So these are all the options of our chmod. Now abbreviations used by ch, it's a U. So whenever using U, that is a user. U is indication to user. Second one is a group. Third one is others. A is, if you use A, that is all. Plus minus is indication to assign permission. And second one minus, which is used to remove permission. And then equal to minus, assign absolute permission. Assigns absolute permissions. What are the, which have only 3 permissions. What are the permissions? R is indication to read, write is indication, W is indication to write, and X is a execute permission. We have read, write, execute, 3 permissions. 3 permissions, we have given the different categories. What are the category operations? Either a single user or a group of users or others, or it has to set all users. And then permissions, plus or minus. So assign a permission, or minus, remove permission. Then equal to minus, assign absolute permission. Which have only 3 permissions. Remember it. Read, write, and execute only 3 permissions. So these are abbreviations used in chmod. So what do you mean by the absolute assignment? So absolute assignment instance, it's used for equal to operator. Unlike it's in plus or minus operators. So it's assigned only those permissions that are specified along with it and remove other permissions. So here see, if you want to assign only read permission to all 3 categories and remove all other permission from the same. Now use this chmod, group G is indication to group, and then minus. So minus WX, write and execute permissions. And then other, O is indication to other. Second one is just minus, is removed now. X is a executable file. So what is the file name? File name is a small. Or simply use equal to operator in any one of the following ways. Like initially chmod and group user other is given to read mode for a specific file small. Or given A, others is given to read permission for in small file. Or chmod equal to R for a small file. So equal to is a absolute assignment. Now we can assign values like UGO. So user, group, others. 3 groups is having the read permission only for a file small. Or A. So chmod A is a all equal to R. R is indication to read permission. Now all which have the permission to read only in a file as small. Last one equal to R. So that is given permission to read permission to small in a file. So this is absolute permission which is used to equal operator. Process utilities. In the process status, PS is indication to process state. Display some process attributes. Now I want to given $PS. So what is that? It display the process ID, TTY, teletype writer, and then time, and then CMD, command mode. So here process ID is 1078 and TTY as a PTS by 2. It is a teletyping communicators. And then time, what time it is started, and then which command mode you are using. So PS present a snapshot of the process table. Process table. Knapsack in sense it's a presently what process is going on and what time it is started. Like every information, like it display the information about the process. So process utilities use the first command as ps is a display some process attributes. Like what are the attributes of process? PID, process ID, TTY, teletypewriter, time, what time the process is started, and then which command mode it has to be executing. Thank you. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.